Hello, everyone. Welcome to our NGH-WA meeting for the month of August. I was like, what month is it? Oh my goodness, it's August 1st. And so excited to be with all of you today. We have so many of our board members and our members here with us. So welcome to all of you. So my name is Jody Solberg. I am the president of the NGH Washington chapter. And so I get the privilege of welcoming you here today. But we have, like I said, our board members here with us today, many of them, and also members. So James and Stacey are here as members. Of course, we have our speaker I'm going to be introducing here in a moment, Anna and Karen are online, so welcome. And then with our board, we have our wonderful secretary, Danny, our treasurer, Faith is here, our vice president, Joe T is here, and our membership chair, Barbara, and Marilyn's here. So everyone is here, and thank you for being here if you're here live or if you're watching on the replay. So NGH Washington chapter is a wonderful community organization where we can come together as hypnotists and hypnotherapists to build connections with one another. So many times we're solopreneurs out there in the world helping people. And so we love to learn. We love to come together, whether it's in person or online, and connect. So our chapter actually holds a couple of events a year. And then we have monthly chapter meetings. So we meet on the second Saturday, generally of each month. However, it's the first Saturday today. Like I said, it's August 1st because the Greater National Guild of Hypnotists, the NGH annual convention, is next weekend. I will be in Boston representing us and speaking there. I'm excited about that. And so in order to not conflict with that, we're on the first Saturday today. However, normally it's the second Saturday. And then we also have our World Hypnotism Day event, which is at the beginning of the year. So you'll be hearing more about that going into the beginning of 2027. And we also do a holiday event all together in December. So those are our variations on the things that we do. It's $50 for the year to join us, which is really a minimal fee to be able to come together, to learn, to get discounts on any of our events or things that we have going on, and to be listed in our directory, most importantly, as well, because we all know searchability, SEO is wonderful, and just being known as somebody who not only is a professional in whatever area you're in, whatever geographic area that you're in as well, but also that you are part of an organization. You do not have to be part of the greater NGH in order to be part of our chapter. You are more than welcome to do so, but it is not a requirement. And you also do not have to actually live and work in Washington State. You can be wherever you are. We have members from around the country, and you can be from around the world. So that is a little bit about us. If you want to know more, you can go to ngh-wa.org. And so check that out. We'll have all the information for everybody if you're online there as well. But I want to get right to it because we have our events coordinator, Karina, coming in too. So let me let her in. She's joining up right now. And so I'm going to introduce our speaker today, Richard Quimby, AKA Rick or Q. So very excited to have him here. So we're honored to have him here today, and he's going to be presenting There is More to Life Than Meets the Eye, which I'm very intrigued to hear all about. He's really going to explore the integration of energy movements within the body, mind, and spirit. That's right up my alley. I'm excited. It's going to dive into how subtle energy flows can be harnessed to modify hypnotic trance, enhancing the depth and efficacy of hypnotherapy healings. We're going to be examining the fundamental nature of energy, its role in subconscious renewal, and practical applications for transforming our clients' experience. Now, Rick's going to be giving away a gift card to somebody in attendance today, so that's exciting. And he is now retired from the Everett Hypnosis Clinic and as the smoking cessation manager of Everett General Hospital. So there's so much that we can learn from Rick. I'm really excited for the presentation today. So I'm going to pass it on to him and we're going to get started.
And Thank you so much for having me. I discovered this local, it was a wonderful thing a long time ago, and then got sick and different things, and I haven't been back. But this is the local place for the National Guild of Hypnotists is a real reflection on their beliefs and how they help others become hypnotists. I've been very impressed with what you guys have done. And thank you very much for allowing me to come in and talk. Like I say, it might be a little bit broken, but I'll do the best I can. Now, I got to tell you this story. It really doesn't have much to do with hypnosis. But about 30 years ago, when I started a journey, it happened at a Unity church over in Bellevue, to be quite honest with you. I was got up in the morning and I wanted to go to church, but I got to tell you, it was a hard thing because I was having this really weird thing in my eyes, and I was kind of worried. It really threw me into a nut storm, but I decided to drive, which I probably shouldn't have. I went in the back of the vestibule. I sat down, closed my eyes, and hoped that wasn't losing my eyesight. I only have good eyesight in one eye. So I was a little bit worried about that. I sat down in the back. It was real dark. I closed my eyes and I put my energy in that eye, and I was thinking, oh, the worst thing that could happen, the worst thing that could happen. So I sat there through the service, and I walked out afterwards. And I'm anybody that knows me knows that I can't pass a half price sale. I mean, I have to get there. And just as I came out of the vestibule on the right-hand side, here's a little table there with a bunch of half-price stuff on it. And I looked at the bag. I thought, well, you could see the half-price sign because of about the. And in the bag, I saw this bumper sticker. And by the way, I saw it. That was the thing about it. And it says, "There's more to life than meets the eye." And I've carried this around for the last 30 years in many man caves, apartments, condos, for everybody. But it was the idea that I found that I didn't have to worry about things. I could let them go. And it turned out to be actually what do they call it? I'm going to actually leave you people to help me with some things. What do they call it when you have a stroke? Optic nerve stroke. Stroke to your optic nerve. I had a stroke to my optic nerve. And that's what it turned out to be. But when I walked out, it was totally gone. The optic nerve, because I went to the doctor the next couple of days and they found out it was an optic nerve, but it led me to the fact that I had a stroke. So that went a whole long way. So that was the thing, and it was moving energy that I was talking about. But again, thank you for inviting me. An amazing place that you guys run here, and I look forward to hearing and seeing about the Boston visit. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to just talk about moving energy, and I wasn't exactly sure how to explain how I do it. And this gives me the good opportunity. I was able to figure out how I could run it down a little bit better on how I do it. When I became a hypnotist, it was, stop. NGH. Yeah, anybody that's coming into this business, get involved in the NGH. It has all the things that you need. From insurance to libraries, both electronic and written, anything that you might want. Back in 1990s when I was there, it was all on writing. We didn't have computers, we didn't have electronics. But now that's available through the NGH. And again, the idea that have insurance in this business is very, very important. I don't know how many conversations you have had about that, but it's important to have a lot of them because there are a lot of things as a hypnotist you got to be very careful of. Touching people for one thing, and my particular way of using energy is I almost need to hold hands or put a hand on a shoulder. And I'll explain what I do later, but it helps to have that human touch because you can feel so much energy just in the human touches. We all know energy started back at the beginning of time, and it was just helium and hydrogen. And all of a sudden, here comes life after life after life around the universe. And that energy that was in the Big Bang, whether it was, and it was, let's say, uh, there's always a problem. It was a creation of energies. And that when that energy exploded, it went all around the universe. And it ended up here for us in this little planet, the third planet from the sun. And we have the same energy that came out of that. Now, a lot of us have had a lot of different things come through with our other lives. I think a lot of us review our other lives and find that that's where a lot of our things are. So I tend to grab my energy and take it to the bottom to see if we can. I guess the way I do it is we're all hypnotized and I unhypnotize them. I think that's the best way to go to it. And they are them and they will be private until you win them over, perhaps. Maybe that isn't the right term, but getting on their side and understanding that there are things that are going to happen to people that are similar. And there are things that are going to happen through heredity, I believe, that come from life after life after life after life. And if we can get in there as healers and open up that pathway all the way back, all the way back to pure, pure energy. And faith, of course, that was what put that whole bang into presentation. But I think if we go back and find those things that became human in this particular, and then bring them back in this particular lifetime, and bring it back down to the bottom where everything is clean. I ended up at a place I built. I bought I didn't buy anything. Excuse me. I rented a place downtown Everett, the Everett Hypnosis Clinic it became. And I found out when I became a hypnotist, I wasn't going to be able to do the normal stuff. I was a big guy, a male to boot, and let's face it, in a lot of cases, the only time that you get clients are females because they're the ones that really want to change. So you don't get a lot of guys. You get a few, you get a few people that want to quit smoking, that kind of thing. But I put my first ad, and it was because we didn't have electronic gadgets to advertise on. I put it in a newspaper called The Weekly. It was put out in Seattle. And on the back page, I had a stop smoking. And I had half my people that would come up to Everett to quit smoking cigarettes. Half of them would come to quit smoking weed. So it was something I kind of understood. Yeah, everybody had an urge that they needed to get to. And smoking, it didn't matter whether it was weed, it doesn't matter. So it was one of those things where I had two other people, and a chubby little guy and a male probably isn't going to bring in a lot of clients. So I put somebody in to do weight loss. I put somebody in to do stop smoking, and so on referrals, I had started in a little place, a new age place up in Everett, a little place in the back. So I got a few referrals, and women started coming to me for predatory things. And I guess I must have succeeded in a lot of instances because and I'll tell you why. I ended up finding out just recently, well, at least within the last 20 years, the things that they felt safe with me for some reason. And I didn't know what it was, but I kept doing it, whatever it was, and I'll try to show it to you later or soon. But I was trying to uh, touch their hearts. I guess that was where I thought my instance needed to be. And I did a lot of that. But I also learned that there was a lot more that could be done. And so I started to do a little bit more depth work as far as energy. Just simply holding a hand, I was able to kind of touch people, I guess. It was a heart touch. It was a felt touch. And the more I did it, the better it got, and the better I got at doing what I was doing. When I started, I don't know if you want any of this history, but when I started, it was only I went into a hypnotist. I was working at Boeing 3 packs a day. I went into a hypnotist. His name was Michael Gershman. He was up in Everett. And I sat down with him for an hour, and it get paid my $250, and it was right after hours. So I'd been working during the day. I went over to get rid of this thing. I put my $250 down on his secretary's desk, and I walked in. An hour later, I walked out, and I looked at that check as I walked past the desk, and I thought, oh crap, there's $250 I'll never get back. So I walked out thinking it hadn't worked. I walked out. I had a pack of Marlboro Lights sitting on the seat. I never picked up another one. And that was 40 years ago. And I still swear it didn't work. So
You just forgot to smoke.
and that's the way sometimes hypnosis works. You don't know it's working until you try to do something that perhaps you bothered you before about yourself, and it kind of goes away. And it's just simply a matter. I never really called myself a hypnotherapist either, by the way. And not that I haven't seen so many hypnotherapists that are wonderful people and have come through. But as a male, this may sound weird, and it's just an offset. I dropped the rapist. I just called myself a hypnotist. I never called myself a hypnotherapist. It was one of those things that I just felt that I didn't want to have associated with, because I took anybody that doesn't know about neuro-linguistic programming, it is using language to kind of guide people in different directions. And I didn't want to make sure that I was guiding people in different directions, but I still wanted to make sure that people understood that there are a lot of different ways to get spirit and get hypnosis. So do what is right for you and see how it feels. So Mike Gershman, 3 packs a day, hadn't needed it. Got a little place in Everett, learned to get some referrals, and then started doing what I did until I lost my eyesight a few years ago. And that way I couldn't drive to any place to get to anybody. So I tried to do it online. We were talking about earlier about doing online hypnosis. And I kind of, after COVID, I got COVID, and I decided to go online and do some online, hopefully some online work. But that's kind of what I've come here today to talk about, is how do we share energies, the heart, mind, and soul. Those three things are the things that are able to make success out of any hypnosis practice you try to get into. People need to trust you. They need to understand you. You don't necessarily need to talk to them about that or convince them. They will know. You just open up your heart, you open up your mind, and you open up your soul, and you let them in, and then they're kind of in charge. They're the ones that get to say what they want and what they can't do. And if they say they can't do it, then that's where we go to the energy. We have to find that energy that helps them find what they can do. So heart, mind, and soul trust is the best thing that I could possibly tell you to try. I wrote this and I wanted to spread it out. If I have a faith stick long enough and a moral place to stand, I can move the universe. And that's what you can do. All you have to do is figure out what it takes to move energy into other people. Now, let me tell you how I do it. As I went through the I guess it's the ministers, let's call them the ministers in the unities. I found the one that really talked. And what he actually told me was that if we humanize people, then we judge them. So he taught me and led me to the A Course in Miracles. I don't know if anybody knows A Course in Miracles, but A Course in Miracles led me in a direction that told me that other people could be helped, I guess, in the way that I thought I could help them. It's hard to explain. I was led to a guy named Phineas Parkhurst Quimby by accident. I don't know if anybody has read about him. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby was the father of New Age, actually. He was the one that developed the idea that we are one and that all we are an individual and we all have our own energies. But as I went and found, and I'd already been in the A Course in Miracles, which kind of told us we are here by ourselves and we can take care of ourselves, basically. But this led me to an idea that perhaps I could open up my heart to people without actually speaking and move energy without actually speaking. So over the years, I've tried different things. Of course, this kind of electronics is really amazing. And we started, I'll go back. Anyway, I'll go back. We started back in the idea that when Phineas Parkhurst Quimby started, and I read about him, he was too much like me, and I was already practicing exactly what he was doing. And it was a melding. It was a melding of energies. And the only reason I was attracted to him, because we were so similar. I was a mechanic, I fiddled with cars and that kind of thing as a guy. And, it was a whole series of things that he had been a hypnotist and done that. And then he became a therapist, I guess is what you'd call it. But he would just sit with people. And I wondered about sitting with people. So I tried talking less. You wouldn't know it today. I tried talking less and feeling more. And I think we all know that feeling is one of those things that we have to practice. We have to reach out and open up because it's a two-way thing. If you can feel somebody, then you can maybe magnify it too by just simply thinking about it. So I started doing that. I'd already been doing it. And with his book, Phineas Parkhurst, his book said that he just sat with people. And I said, well, why not try that? If I'm already kind of practicing and sitting with people, but I've been getting their whole life story. And it was just their life story. That wasn't all their stories. If we're talking about energies all the way back through all their, it wasn't necessarily all human things. We've probably become other things in other ways out there that we don't remember perhaps. But nevertheless, if we reach out and bring all those experiences in and try to feel body, mind, spirit, you can feel other people's things. And that's how I help, because I think I was able to find people that had been predatory or been violated. Let me use that. I think I can feel people that have been violated for a couple of different reasons. I found out when I was 45 years old that I had been living my whole life with a predator. My father was I was about 45 years old. I found out that he had been convicted and was doing 12 and a half years in jail for being a predator. And I thought to myself, well, maybe that's why I was able to come close to these people. Maybe I'd heard him. He didn't, it was little girls he liked. And I got to tell you that living with that energy for 45 years as my father, I had picked up little things here and there, but never be able to put anything together. So unfortunately, I became a person that could help other people by having a father that was a predator. And I think that being in that energy, hearing how he responded to people, hearing how he felt with about people, very friendly guy, you know, and I never could get in tune with it. It was one of those things where there was something just wrong. And I was very surprised that that came around. And that has kind of brought me back to the fact that maybe, and some of you people have considered going online and shifting into an energy boost that you could probably find people online. And I know when I Zoom with people, I'm able to exchange energy. You're able to touch them if you reach out, and it even if it be electronic, those people are on the other side. Their feelings are coming through just as well, maybe not as well, but you're not just maybe receiving them as well. So try to open up to those people, because there's a lot of online things. I wanted to do an online. Matter of fact, I have a Facebook page. If you can touch those people through the abilities to use electronics, try it. See if you can get that energy flow, because it's there. They're just electronically connected. It's that simple. Anybody have any questions? Yeah. Yes, the question is how you share energy through the screen. And I can only think that we have eye contact. And right there is a direct contact to the brain. Anything that you do on this end is going to be something easy. If you close your eyes, they'll close their eyes. It's more simple than you could believe. And once you're able to see with a direction, close your eyes, then that's an energy that you verbalize that, and they've heard it and they've responded to it. So energy is where we may not know it, but always know that it's there. Again, body, mind, spirit, and trust. I've become friends with my people, and I don't mean friendship. I mean friends. I'm away. If I'm online, I can't touch them. I'm okay, and that's a nice thing, especially if you're a man and you're dealing with that stuff, because you are away from the situation. I think the thing that you have to do is I do the first uh, session for free, 30 minutes. I'll do a free 30-minute session. And if it's online, I'll usually do it for 45, an hour. I'll get friendly with people, and it's nice to know people that before you go in. You have to really, to a certain extent. So I will do that if it's online or in person, it doesn't matter. I will do that for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Depends on how my day is going and how their day is going too. I don't want to wear them out or tell them anything that I might be able to. But it gives me a basic idea. Family, where do they get their love? Where's their hearts? I reach for those. I don't ask many questions. I just let people talk and kind of get out of that what I can. I will ask a question. I won't ask actually about their issues, because their issues may go back many, 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 many lives, and through many other things that aren't human lives. We're many things over and above humans in this world, as in this universe. So I think that asking people questions are going to drive them to a certain lifetime, and I want to dump it. I think I've told people I'm a shock jock. I want to get it out of them and down, gone, away from both of us. And it took a while. That way for both of us is a hard one because sometimes you take on that stuff, and that is a tough thing to break away from when you're releasing somebody's garbage and some of it sticks with you. You just gotta be more powerful than you think you are to get it out of yourself. But it took a while to be able to separate my emotions from their emotions. But once I learned how to do it, it was pretty nice to find all of theirs. And like I say, I will go in quietly. If I can hold hands, I'll go in quietly on the first session. And we will, we'll say hello. And are you ready? Do you want to do it? Are you, and confirm. And I'm telling them we're going all the way to the bottom. And I'll tell them what we just talked about. The fact that it may be many lives that this started in. Heredity, I find in this predatory thing, heredity is huge. And the thing I found, if I hung on to that energy, I got pissed off at human males. And I was really, really angry. So I didn't mean to say pissed off, but I said it twice now. So I'll stop. Anyway, that's the way I work. And it's hard to explain to people that you can get into their energies because you have them too. And you have the same foibles that they do. And to bypass the fact that everybody's human, that would be stupid. So here I am trying to fix the world. I think right now, predatory, whether it be sexual or physical or mental or anything, is way out of control. And we can do, even if we don't have a client, we have a lot of clients. We all know neuro-linguistic programming. And that's sometimes all it takes to change somebody's attitude, to change somebody's mind. I'm retired. I go into my YMCA pool every morning and I heal people. I laugh, I sing, and pretty soon people start laughing and people start singing. And then they come out of that pool clean. And I let all that stuff go down that pool drain. It's gone. Hopefully forever. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not, I'm at work. I'm retired. Neener. No, I don't have to make any money. Well, I'd like to, but I don't have to. So it is one of those things that you can give it away after the fact. And you give it, let's face it, I know a bunch of you give it away anyway, but you're because we're human and we want to be helpful to other people and do things that we can change the universe. So if you have a stick long enough and a place to stand, and you have hypnosis. Well, my technique is just, the question was, do I use my own techniques? And I believe that the only technique I have, I've done all not all, I did that one many times. I did all the things that are in the book, and it brought me to the energy part. So I've kind of stayed like that. I haven't gone back to doing any hypnosis. I've always just stayed as a freebie. And it's been one of those things that people have reacted to.
So you don't induce them?
No,
Okay.
no. I like I say, I think we're all hypnotized, and I just unhypnotize you. Yeah,
Because we're super programmed
we are.
from the beginning, from conception on.
Yeah,
And that program stays with us,
good and bad.
good and bad, and you just have to help. Well, in my case, when I tell people what I do, they just splurt out everything that happened to them in their birth. I mean, when they when they were having their babies. They tell me all their stories because it's there and they never forget it. So every experience that we have stays with us, good or bad. And that's one of the beautiful things that we can do. Those that had the bad ones, what do they want to do about it?
Yep. The answer was everything is good and bad. The good will come out if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes. And it'll downplay the bad. I just wanted to go through all the other lives that it's gone through. And only because I'm not sure on a female basis what it's like, because I can't go there. I can only be a male understanding what abuse is. And I do understand it. Because quite frankly, I was abused. I mean, I wasn't physically abused, but mentally I was abused to be laying in that energy. Even though, you know, he wasn't a bad father, I didn't think at the time, but we were just kind of out of sync, he and I. So I wasn't exactly sure what it was until, well, it's good to know finally. Yeah, that way you don't have to worry about what your problems are. You blame it on your father. Okay.
Or your mother.
Oh, oh, now she's a whole nother trip.
Yeah.
She was the 3-pack a day Paul Morrell smoker. That's where I got
That's
that.
where you got it.
Well, when you think of energy, I think of a somatic reaction. And I happened to have one just about a year ago. I was sitting in on a lecture, and it was a recognition for a psychologist that had passed away. And her daughter was saying, I was able to take care of my mother during her last number of years of life. And I was so proud to do that because I remember how much love I received as a baby. And I went white as a sheet. Empty, washed, like a flood came over me. Never got along with my mother. I find that I could never do anything right. I was never good enough compared to my sister. And I knew there was a missing piece there. My mother wanted a boy and I was a girl. So it's not that she didn't want a baby, she just didn't want me. And that was one of the missing pieces that came to me, just that triggered that one statement. And after a long cry, it made sense. Absolutely, it was a tremendous somatic reaction that unless you'd been paying attention or listening, never would have heard it.
And you have to have all the information. You know, as children or other people, we don't have all the information, and you put it together sooner or later, eventually, hopefully, and then you can clean yourself. But a lot of people can't do that. It's well, I don't. Yeah,
They're afraid.
a lot of reasons. It's all they have sometimes. Yeah, to hold on to. But I've enjoyed each and every one of you. You're awesome. I'd love to listen. More questions.
Do you follow up with your clients?
I do. They follow up with me mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you get a friend after the fact. And then, you know, they drift off too. And they send you other people. I hope you all succeed and I hope you all enjoy it. Because it's a fun thing. Helping other people.
That was great.
Is there a demo that you could do if someone?
Yeah. Want to do one?
Is there a demo that you could do if someone?
Yeah. Anyway, let's play that. Okay. Let's take a couple of minutes and do we still have people online?
We do.
Oh, excellent. Let's all close our eyes for just a second. And I want you to just flare back on the things that you might want to get rid of today. So breathe in that oxygen and let it go with the oxygen. And just close your eyes for a second. That's right. As you breathe in, feel that energy It rolls into your brain. And then you're able to release with that exhale that energy that isn't necessarily needed in your body anymore. So one more breath in. One more breath away. Now, in any one of these things, if you want to release something and let it go, if you got something in the back of your mind right now, I don't know what it might be, but just bring that into your head and let it go with the exhale. Put it in your mind as something you might want to get rid of, or maybe you just want to relax. But as you feel the energy go into your brain and exhale through your lungs, on your next breath, go ahead and feel that energy, warm, cleansing. Just let it flow down your left arm. You could feel it down through your shoulder, into your bicep. Let it flow into that elbow. You've been using that all day long. Started drinking coffee this morning. Let that elbow relax. And let that healing, that energy flow all the way down through your forearm, into your wrists. Let your arm go to your side and let your hand just hang. Now feel that energy go into your wrist, into your palm. Let it flow into each and every finger, all the way to the tip. And then if there's any negativity, just let that energy, let the tips of those fingers release and let go of any tension, any stress in that arm. Let that arm just hang loose, relaxed, full of warm, warm energy. It feels a little heavier than the other arms, legs or body, but all the gravity in there. Let it relax and let go. That's right. And now just imagine those fingers opening up at the ends and draining out the liquid, the heaviness, the feeling. Let it draw all the way down your arm and let it slip out your fingers. Feeling that arm light and carefree, free from any pain, free and loose. It's about all Dad can do today. I haven't done a trance for a while. So just come on up. Feel the energy drain out of both arms, out of your legs, and relax. Take a deep breath. Come on back. Hi. All right, anybody? Input, output, relaxation.
I like being able to audibly hear you breathe out.
Yeah.
Is the exhale that's like, no matter where my breath was, it was a cue to me to take a deep breath in and breathe out. And kind of focus on my breath. So I really like that shit.
You're giving yourself your own permission to let go. You know, we always hang on to our stuff. because we need to, we think we need to sometimes.
Are there any questions in the Zoom?
Karina, did you have any questions?
Well, I had really hoped to, see an example, and thank you. I connected very well online as well as I'm sure everybody in the room. So thank you.
Great.
You're welcome. Thank you. And how did it feel online? I haven't done a lot of work online. Were you able to actually feel a warmth or a heaviness going down your arm?
You actually did touch on the left side of the arm, and I
Yeah.
did. I absolutely felt it.
Good.
I don't know if it's because a lot of us are online now and we are getting used to connecting, but I absolutely felt probably the same as if I were in the room. It was great.
And it's usually positive like you, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Orthopedic shoulders, and when I started, I had about discomfort of about 4. Yeah, I'm a 0 after that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we do. I think we use it every day. I think we're always, setting out something and letting people pick it up. And we see it, we observe it. So it feels good. It makes you feel good when you do things. And all you guys, everybody that does this, you're the most wonderful people in the world. It was the best thing I ever did in my life. And I am proud of what I did and continue to be proud because it changed me. It made me a different person. And it's wonderful to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was an absolutely wonderful presentation. And thank you for everybody for being here with us in person or online, watching later as well. And so remember to go and visit our website at NGH-WA.org and check out all the information. We would love to have you join us and participate either online or in person. And our next meeting is going to be in September, the 2nd Saturday of September. So make sure to check out our meetup page and our website for all the Northgate library next time if you're going to be joining us in person. And that is going to be on September the 12th. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much, everyone.